Good morning, Fly on the Wall Productions, live on Facebook and YouTube and streamed everywhere you get your podcasts and on the web at airedout.vt.com. You got Aired Out. Good morning. Nice to have you with us. Happy Monday. Roger Hill is saying, well, the Central Vermont cold spot this morning is Northfield at 15 degrees right now.
I thought it was pretty damn cold right here at my house at 19.
Yeah, and
I
it's
thought that was cold enough.
Yeah, it is. My God, we're going to be. We've got a little warming trend here. I'm going to tell you about. I'm showing 24 right now in Barrie, but we'll warm up to around 40 today. If we're lucky, for most of Central Vermont later today, with clouds and snow showers starting up this afternoon. Maybe a light dusting, depending on where you are, and maybe some slick travel just before dark tonight. So go easy. Be careful driving. Tonight, 31, cloudy flurries. Tuesday, the start of that warming trend. 40 for a high with clouds, and still a chance for a pop-up flurry on Tuesday. Wednesday looks like a clouds and sun, 47. See? Look at this, 52.
I know.
52 on Thursday, partly sunny. I like the sound of that.
This morning when I was talking to my sister, because we talk every morning, she was saying she didn't know what to wear today. I don't know what to wear today. And I said, well, it's only 19 degrees. She said, but the calendar, it's still fall. I don't give a shit what the calendar says. If I'm cold, I'm putting on a nice fluffy sweater, and I don't give a shit.
You have a nice fluffy sweater on.
That's right. And I'm warm, damn it.
I tried to get some of the rest of the patio furniture and all the shit laying around in the yard into the barn yesterday. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of it in, but it gets darker earlier now, and it doesn't get darker earlier. I know it's the time change bullshit, but it's like, God, it just started getting dark, and I'm tired, and I'm sore, and I'm stiffening up, and the arthritis kicks in, and it's I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna call it a night.
I think it's because you're old.
And well,
You're slow and old.
Well,
you're getting fat like me.
That's a given.
We get slow.
Getting or already are.
Whoa! I wasn't going there, man.
No, I'm talking about myself.
Oh, I'm already there. Fat and slow. We're
I
getting
don't
on
know,
the
man.
old
It's
side.
just like if I don't get that shit off the yard, it's
Stuck to the ground till spring.
One of these snowfalls. We're not going to get that warming trend right after it.
Right.
And it's whatever's there
And then it's done.
is there until July.
Yeah, probably July.
Michael Deering with us this morning. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
It's such a great thing that you're here this morning. Look at you. You got your coffee. You're ready to go.
The coffee's almost gone, man. I've been rocking and rolling since like 6 or 6:30.
Have you?
That's a little late this morning.
Good for you for getting up that early. Damn. Did you guys see the Northern Lights?
No.
This weekend?
No, I tried to. I was actually even in Burlington, Williston on Saturday night, but it was just so cloudy.
I did. I saw them.
They said more southernly.
Yeah.
You did not.
Oh, she just called you right out on
Such
that.
a liar. I sent him a message. Said, did you see them? He said, no, I tried. But only a couple of times, and then I gave up.
I looked, but too much cloud.
I was pissed.
Me too.
I was like, wait a second. The last time this happened, there were too many clouds.
Uh-huh.
Can we just get, please, can we just get a night where there's no clouds when the Northern Lights are coming so that we can see this?
And we have a
Please.
beautiful play. I mean, Central Vermont, Barrie in particular, you have such a nice dark sky without all the light pollution from the city.
Right.
So if you can really catch a good view of that,
Right.
man.
I know. Well, I posted up some pictures this morning, shots taken over at Indian Lake. That's over in the Adirondacks, I think, right? Yeah.
I don't know. New York's not my thing.
Apparently, it was absolutely stellar over there. I don't know. I mean, I've also had some people
I've
say,
seen some great pictures
Yeah.
this morning.
I've had some folks say those pictures are doctored up, but come on.
Oh, I see. I can tell the ones that are and aren't.
You think the Indian Lake shot was doctored up with all the stars?
I
and
did. I
everything?
don't know if I saw that one, but you can tell which ones are definitely not doctored in any way.
A little too, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
They're just like.
Some of them are a little. They look like it's a little, maybe too good to be
But
true.
you have to
I don't know.
remember, it also depends on your camera and what you can take a shot of.
Right.
Look at some of the eclipse pictures. You know those aren't doctored.
Sure.
It's because that just is what it is. But the shots they can get of it are absolutely incredible.
Did you guys see the Weather Channel ran the video? They shot a rocket up into the northern lights so they could try to get some data on the energy that's floating around in the clouds up there and how they can harness it and all that shit. It was weird.
Did you see the one photo? And I forgot what the shuttle is, but they dropped a tool bag out of it, and they say you can see the tool bag with binoculars, like up there. I'll have to find it.
Were you eating mushrooms this weekend?
No, that happened. I saw it this morning.
Seriously?
The mushroom part or the seeing it
Look,
part?
she's gonna find it now.
She is.
Yes, I am.
She's on a mission.
Asshole.
I'm gonna find this.
That's what's good about Raylene.
Oh yeah,
If she's on a
she'll find it.
mission-
Look at her. Look at her go.
Yeah.
She'll find it. She'll find it. Today is World Kindness Day.
Astronaut
Today.
dropped a tool bag during a spacewalk, and you can see it through a tool bag that gave astronauts the slip during a spacewalk at the International. Oh, we gotta get open here. Space station is surprisingly bright and can be seen with binoculars. So there, kiss my ass.
I knew that was coming at the end.
See, I told you so, but just see, kiss my ass.
Why are you?
Can we be kind today?
Thank you.
I am,
If you-
because it is.
World
Kindness Day.
It is. That's the only reason I say that.
That was
Well,
very kind. of
well.
me.
It could have been worse for sure. So that was kind.
We're supposed to encourage each other to look beyond our differences, focus on the positive power of kindness, unite the planet.
Encourage people to open their eyes and read the news and
And not say that you're
not
full of
walk
shit
around like bleh.
about the story that you just dropped. It's also National Odd Socks Day today.
Oh boy.
Okay, I didn't see that one. I know it's National Education Support Professionals Day.
I didn't see that one.
That's because you didn't look on the National Day calendar.
Did look on the national. I just
Probably
didn't
for
see that.
tomorrow or
'Cause
yesterday.
I didn't because I didn't have my optical expressions glasses on. But we had quite the kerfuffle at my house.
I know.
yesterday.
What happened today that you needed coffee so bad? You walked in here and were like, I'd do anything for a coffee. All these moans and groans. I never heard so many noises come out of one human being in my entire life as I heard coming out of you this morning.
I had Michael, don't deny that this hasn't happened to you. I had a cup. I had a big mug in my car over the weekend, and in it I had 4 tea bags, which were the lime citrus green tea. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I had. I don't know, it's just a tiny little bit of water in it. Bottom line is I never drank it. Took the mug out of the car this morning.
Frozen solid.
Frozen solid. Brought it in the house. Went up to the fresh pot of coffee and filled the mug.
Yeah, with the tea bags.
With the tea bags in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Monday.
Because
right?
that's what most people would do. They wouldn't rinse it out prior to anyways. Knowing you and that you know damn well there was something in it. God knows what.
You got to hit the bell on that one.
I got a mile down the road, took the first sip, and I was like, That's a weird cup of coffee. I wonder what flavor that is. So I took another sip and another sip, and I don't know, I got probably 3/4 of the cup of coffee down driving in this morning. And then I finally...
Why did you keep drinking it without knowing what was in it?
The mystery.
So
He had to solve the
disgusting.
mystery.
As long as it's hot, Raylene, it doesn't matter what's in there, right?
I
Wrong.
strongly disagree.
Wrong.
What?
I don't know. I could pee in a cup for you.
I was gonna say.
Well,
That's going to be warm.
Oh.
I don't think you're going to want to take it down, though.
who invited him in here this morning? I finally, I'm like, I took the cup, I took the cap off, and I looked at it, I'm like, what are these giant things floating in my coffee? Oh my God, they're the tea bags left over from the weekend.
Oh.
So nasty.
So how you feeling?
Well, you
Got a
know,
little tummy ache?
I don't.
Brain
I'll
fog.
tell you, I had a little bit of gas.
He wanted vanilla in his coffee.
I'm kind of like that.
He was hoping to get rid of whatever it was. He had to
You're
have
being
some
so
vanilla.
mean. You're being so mean to me this morning on this World Kindness Day.
I'm
being
not. I
honest.
made you a coffee with vanilla,
Yeah, but now you're making fun of me.
made to order, and it's
Yeah.
not even McDonald's. You certainly aren't going to leave me a tip, and you didn't pay a dime for it. That's very kind of me.
She's not wrong. And you're in her house.
Sorry.
Passing gas.
Well, I almost did,
Oh.
but I
He's trying to
Lord.
clear us out of here because he doesn't want to hear our shit anymore.
So listen, lots going on in the news up in Burlington, of course. Last night around 9 p.m.,
Yeah.
police got a call
horrible.
that 2 men had been shot, or they got a call about shots fired
Yeah.
on Decatur Street in Burlington. And when they arrived, one man that was shot in the head had died, and the other man also shot in the head died on the way to the hospital.
Later on, yeah.
Yes, and then at 2 a.m. this morning, somebody entered the Burlington Police Department into the vestibule
Yeah.
and set
Started-
fire in there.
Started pyroing.
Wow.
2 a.m. 2 a.m. and which of course set the sprinkler systems off. So a big mess with that as well. And then prior to the shooting at 9 p.m., though, they had gotten calls for shots fired at the comedy club,
Yeah.
not too far away,
Was that
around
the guy
8.
in the foot? Was that the one that was shot in the foot? I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so too. So I mean, just
This is-
craziness
this is-
continued.
This is the Queen City's 12th and 13th gunfire incidents this year.
And how many deaths? I don't even know.
It's close to that.
yeah.
It's close to that.
Yeah.
You know, and now you've seen in the news, they're trying to figure out what to do on
Church Street.
Church Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the businesses
for
leaving.
the businesses.
Yep.
They're like, to hell with this. I'm out of here, man. The rent I'm paying, and everyone's getting shot all the time.
I
It's-
know. Fire
what is-
every elected official, hire new ones, and then hire your police force back with a community that supports them instead of shits on them.
You're not wrong.
This is coming back, isn't it? This is coming
Hell
full.
yeah.
This is the full circle.
This is the circle
thing.
right here.
When you
Yeah.
don't support the people that are policing your community,
Yeah.
when you don't give them the opportunities and the tools that
Yeah,
they need to do
the
their
money
job,
and the
Right.
tools. Yeah.
It's coming back to bite him in the ass. And so many people said that this was stuff like this was going to be happening more and more and more.
yeah, you can't be. You have to support the police departments. I mean, the police, the fire, all of the individuals that make your city run. If you don't support them, you're not going to have a city to run.
Yep.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what's happening there. It's disgusting.
We got a local guy that was arrested late Saturday night on on charges of fentanyl trafficking and possession of crack cocaine following a foot chase in St. Johnsbury. Went down late Saturday night. Albert Vieira. Arrested, and it looks like he's locked up, obviously. But tried to take off, and let's see. I'm just seeing if they where they found him. Big struggle. 80 bags of fentanyl.
Wow.
80 bags of fentanyl. Trying to see where he's from. He'll be in court January 22nd. Can you believe we're that backed up? January 22?
Which court?
In Caledonia.
Yeah.
Caledonia courtroom.
Yep.
It's November 13th.
We're not that backed up here in Washington County, thank God. That is one thing that is really good about the court here, the staff here.
Because Rory Thibault did all the legwork
to
make sure that wouldn't
really
happen.
keep things rolling. And then the people that are there now in administrative roles certainly keep things going. We're really lucky.
We are really blessed, especially to have the people down there. I've gone down there a couple times to get some paperwork and to kind of try to figure stuff out. They can't give you any legal advice, but they're definitely willing to help you to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, navigate everything.
Listen, man, it's everywhere. Route 7 over the weekend in New Haven, they pulled over a 74-year-old dude, cocaine possession, driving with a suspended license. 74 years old. You'd think he'd know better.
Well, how much did he get caught with? Let's ask the question. Did he get caught with, was he using or was he dealing? Because I think we're talking about two different situations. Raylene and I have talked about this on It's No Secret. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, was he a guy that got pulled over because he had a suspended license? They ran his plate, pulled him over, found some cocaine, a little bit of coke in his pocket. And I'm not condoning the behavior. Let's just put that right up there.
Right.
But there's a difference between a guy who's got a suspended license getting pulled over with a little bit of cocaine in his pocket versus a guy who's on a foot chase with 70 bags of fentanyl.
Right.
Right.
Good point. It says during the stop, troopers detected signs of drug activity and conducted a search. And let's see, just possession at this point. Possession.
So he needs some help. He's not somebody that is out there dealing 70 bags of dope and needs to be really put away and thrown the book out.
We had an 18-year-old from Concord arrested very early Sunday morning, driving under the influence on 91 in Bradford. 18 years old. 2:24 in the morning, right near exit 16, weaving between lanes. Wow. It's amazing, man. It's like you just got to be, if you're going to be out driving, really anytime. I was going to say late at night, but it's really anytime. You just have to be
paying attention, watching to everybody around you.
Right. Can't be driving down the road, whatever. He'll be in Orange County Court facing DUI charges. Do you have any more Vermont news? I'm sure you do, Raylene.
No, I mean there's all kinds of stuff in the news, but nothing that we haven't been talking about. A lot of follow-up stuff, but nothing major even. A lot of stuff just repeat, but no, not a lot of Vermont news.
It was a crash in Waterbury. On Saturday, that Porsche. I don't know if you saw that. Guy from Quebec, 65-year-old guy from Quebec.
Poor guy crashed his car.
Wrecked his Porsche.
Made the news.
Yep.
For wrecking his car.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Porsche.
That's the only reason it made the news, because he was driving a Porsche. Otherwise, no one would give a shit that there was an accident on the interstate.
Exactly.
Any injuries to him?
If it was like the 78 Chevy Chevette that Michael Deering drives around in, nobody would have covered that story. It's so true. It's so true. So I want to just give a quick call to Logan Luce here and talk sports, and then of course Michael Deering, who's with us this morning,
Is here for a purpose.
Is here for a.
I'm always here for a purpose.
But here's the thing: do you ever really need a purpose for
No.
coming in here?
No.
You just come in here any damn time you want.
That's the open door policy you guys have with me.
It is.
I appreciate it.
It absolutely.
Your
is.
mics are my mics, as you say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I always say that to you. I say it to everyone. Logan, you with us this morning, buddy? Good morning.
Good morning, JD. How are you today?
Hey, man, we're doing all right. I missed the games last night. Michael Deering is here with us. He loves sports as well and watches a lot of football. But I understand am I right here that the Patriots were matched up with their old rivals, the Colts? Am I right?
Yeah, the Colts and Patriots played last night. Do you want me to talk about the score?
Yeah. If you could speak up just a little bit more so we can hear you.
Sorry. Yep. So last night's games, Thursday's night game that we didn't get to cover. The Panthers and Bears played, with the Bears beating the Panthers, 16-13. Then yes, the Colts played the Patriots, where the Colts won 10-6. The Browns played the Ravens, where the Browns came out on top 33-31. The Steelers played the Packers 23-19. The 49ers beat the Jaguars 34-3. The Vikings beat the Saints 27-19. The Texans beat the Bengals 30-27. The Buccaneers beat the Titans 20-6. The Lions and Chargers played, with the Lions coming out on top 41-38. Very high-scoring game. Falcons and Cardinals 25-23. Cardinals pulling away with it. Cowboys with a massive blowout against the Giants, 49-17. And then the Seahawks and the Commanders game. Seahawks come out on top 29-26. And Jets and Raiders came out on top 16-12.
Did you say that Cowboys win was 49-17?
Yep, 49. Yeah, no. For like the first 3 quarters, they did not let the Giants score. The score was like, at one point, was like 35-0.
Wow, the boys are coming on strong still.
Ooh.
Oh yes, good season for them. I also want to talk about the Lions and Chargers game, about how Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen had an amazing passing game, but the Lions still came out on top in that game. But definitely a career game for both. Keenan Allen had 11 receptions for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns, with Justin Herbert throwing 323 yards with 4 touchdowns. So very, very good game for both of them. But yeah, Lions came out on top. Lions actually are having a fantastic season, 7-2.
How do you feel about the Lions this year? They look really good.
I'm actually rooting for the Lions just because of the fact that they've been a suffering team for the past 15 years or so,
if not longer, since the Barry Sanders days.
Exactly. I was gonna say, I'm like, even when Megatron was at the team, they still were kind of like iffy. And so I think it's just like, yeah, no, the Lions definitely did. I think Detroit as a whole, their sports has never been always the best for them.
Wheels over here on the Four Quarters podcast was saying last Wednesday that Thursday night Carolina Bears game was going to be a snoozle fest.
Actually, I'll have to send it to you later, JD. I have a perfect meme actually about that.
Please send that to me.
And are you aware of wrestling or like the WWE itself? Like, I assume you probably have at some point in your life seen that, maybe growing up or something like that.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, of course,
Sure.
Exactly. So, the meme is like best way to quickly explain it is that it was back, I think 2014-15 when John Cena and The Rock faced each other at WrestleMania, and it's like this, it's like showing them like the original like the promo for it and everything, and it's like prime time Thursday night, the Raiders or the Bears versus the Panthers, and it's just John Cena and The Rock. Well, so I thought that was really comical, and I really appreciated that as both a football and a like former wrestling fan. I found that very funny.
Wheels was saying last Wednesday, don't even bother turning your TV on Thursday night.
I honestly didn't either because it was one of those things where I just knew it was going to be like that. And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago there was jokes like that too. Back when what was it? I think it was the Broncos and another team were also struggling pretty bad, and so some. So, someone on social media I came across was like called Thursday night's game of the Panthers and the Bears. They called it a cripple fight or something like that, or a joke like that, just because it was a bad joke. It was a funny joke. It was a bad joke, but it was a funny joke.
Well, listen, send me that meme when you can, and thanks for coming on with us this morning, buddy.
I will 100% send you that meme because I think you'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Logan Luce right there. We're at 28 degrees right now in central Vermont. If you're just joining us, thank you ever so much. Roger Hill is saying some clouds coming in today. Enjoy the sunshine while you can this morning because maybe some flurries this afternoon. And by dark, things could be getting a little slick out there. Michael Deering with us in the studio this morning, sitting right next to Raylene. And I'll say this, man. We're talking about the NFL. Really, who gives a good goddamn about the NFL when we've got little kids right here in our community who
kicking serious butt.
We got our own champions here.
Thank you.
We don't need to worry about the NFL. We got some future NFLers, maybe.
Seriously, though, there are moms and dads who are walking around who could give a crap how the Lions are doing when we got little kids right here in our backyard that are kicking ass on our local fields.
Absolutely. We had...
what happened?
Well, our 7th and 8th grade football team, that's middle school football, they have a playoff, and our team was the second-ranked team in Division II this year for the 7th and 8th graders. They had a first-round bye. They played a game at Spalding against Fairfax, beat them under the lights, and then they went on to the championship game last 2 weeks ago at this point, and played against North Country and beat North Country to win the title. So in the first time ever, Barry has taken home a middle school football championship.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Isn't that something?
I loved seeing all the pictures. It was great.
Yeah, and honestly,
you were on the top of the moon.
Absolutely, as the program president and CEO. To me, it's amazing to see. Mm-hmm. To really be able to support the individuals that put that together. Matt Carbonneau, Rob Owen, David Pike, Adam Willis, Greg Fuller. Those are the coaches for that team. Mm-hmm. That those men led these young men. They held them to a higher standard than they would normally be held to in life. And they said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work you hard. We're going to make sure that you're going to put in the work, but there's going to be rewards at the end. Mm-hmm. It may not be a title, but it'll be the sense of working hard for that value of who you are as an individual.
And getting ready for high school football,
yeah.
too. I mean, this is preparedness
That's
for
right.
This is
what's
huge.
to come. If you want to stay in the game and this is something that you really want to do, this is what you're going to be facing.
Yeah, especially at that level, because you go from the flag level, first through fourth grade, where everybody gets to play. It's fun. It's really about fun. It's always about fun and safety. But as you move up, the competition grows. Mm-hmm. So when you get into the 5th and 6th grade level, like I coach this year, where we're trying to get everybody developed. You're trying to give people the opportunities that they need to succeed, not just as a football player, but as a young individual, whether you're a boy or a girl. We want to make sure that they're given an opportunity to succeed, and we hold people to a higher standard than other sports and things in life.
Yep.
You have to be
self-discipline and
we
respect.
have to care about your teammates.
Yes.
That you have to show your teammates respect.
Yeah.
And also show your coaches respect. So then you get into the 7th and 8th grade level, where you're right below high school, where if you're in the high school level, you might get cut if you're not good enough. Bottom line.
Yeah, sure.
When it comes to middle school football, we're not going to cut you. Your playing time might suffer if you're in the 7th and 8th grade, if you're not giving the effort, if you're not showing up to practice, if you're not understanding what's going on and not getting the extra help that you need, then you're probably not going to play as much.
And this gives a nice profile academically, too. These kids need to start really starting to take life seriously.
Yes, especially at that 7th and 8th grade level. You're right before high school.
Sure.
You're not a kid anymore. You're a young man or a young woman. And that's what our program teaches these individuals.
As it should.
Congratulations, man. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
first title ever for
huge.
Barry.
Ever.
Ever.
Which is awesome.
I have
It's
goosebumps
awesome.
about it. Just, it's an absolute honor and a blessing, and it's humbling.
These kids, I mean, even if they don't go on in high school to play football, the positivity of the experience is going to get under their skin and stay in their soul.
And the discipline.
We
of
try
it
to
all.
teach them the things that they're going to be able to use in real life.
Sure.
You know,
Exactly.
those things about holding yourself and holding others accountable, doing your job.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing, and really we have so many great individuals involved in that program. It's not just me. Let's make that very clear. There are a lot of individuals working behind the scenes. I just happen to be a face in the program that many people can relate to.
I mean, I'm still trying to hold myself accountable for all the missing socks that are in my house. I mean, I'm working on it.
Today's a good day for
I'm
that.
trying.
Mismatch sock day.
You have some big news.
I do have some big news, and it comes after a beautiful, beautiful Veterans Day weekend.
Perfect.
To me, Tom Koch spoke at our Veterans Day celebration, really observance, we'll call it, about being engaged with your community, doing the things that you can do because of the people that were able to fight for our rights, to be able to engage civically with individuals, and to be on that level where I'm not just complaining about things, you're actually involved. Whether you're involved in a commission, a committee, a select board, a city council, you have to be engaged. One of the biggest things that Tom talked about was the lack of people going out to vote. That so many soldiers have given their lives and served our country without giving their lives as well for the freedoms that we have. So for us as Americans to not take that opportunity to express our vote is disheartening.
Yeah.
So we need to get back to that. And this summer during our devastating floods, we had a lot of community building that happened, and we still have a lot of work that needs to be done. So I decided this summer that I was going to seek re-election for city council. That was non-negotiable. So for me to be already in city government, to be finishing out my first term as a freshman city councilor, I've learned a lot. But I've also have been so involved in my community that for me just to dip out would be a horrible mistake. That there is so much work going on right now. To have some consistency with city government is crucial. The projects that are going on with the North End redevelopment project, granted, everything is conceptual right now. So I don't want people to think that the drawings that are out there, the things that are out there are concrete, that everything is conceptual. Now, the people that need to bring that to fruition are our city government officials, the people that are elected to represent our community. Now, to me, I'm someone who's been working on representing our community, someone that's been involved in our community, and somebody that is approachable to individuals. If somebody has a question or a comment or a concern, they know they can call my cell phone, they can email me, they can approach me in public, and I'll always listen to them and talk to them. And with the things that are going on with our community, with the housing crisis, with the drug epidemic that's going on, with all of the things that our community is involved in, if I don't continue to step up and to support our community, I'm kind of a shitbag. I can't, in all good common sense, say, you know what? 2 years is
I'm
good.
out now.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're probably in the worst of the worst. as far as rebuilding our entire community from the inside out. And for a government official to say, you know what, I'm good. I appreciate what's going on, but I can't help you anymore. Mm-hmm. And there's so much help that can be done that for me not to do this would be a detriment to not only me, but I also feel like to our community. So I really wanted to pick your guys' show because to me, when news in Central Vermont happens, it needs to happen through the Aired Out podcast. That you guys are the one that are in the trenches with people. You're the ones with the real information of Central Vermont. You are the voice to me of Central Vermont. And you are constantly giving people the opportunity that if they'd like to say something, that the mics are there to say something.
For anybody.
For anybody.
And we've
not
always
just me,
said that. Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah.
I know that you guys extend the opportunity for people to come out and speak constantly, as well as you constantly extend that invitation to me. So I wanted to take this opportunity after the amazing Veterans Weekend that we had to announce that I am running for re-election for the 2024 City Council seat in Ward 3.
And you definitely have my 100% full support, and I will be campaigning hardcore for you, as you know. I guess I need another magnet.
Oh, we're gonna get
For
some
the
more car magnets out.
You know?
You'll start to see that stuff coming out.
I have so many things that I want to say, but obviously, Raylene, if you jump right in and grab the wheel anytime. But agree with you politically or disagree. The one thing that people cannot say is that they never see you in public.
This is the Bob Dole of Barry.
Exactly.
Bill Doyle.
Bill Doyle.
The
Yeah.
Bob Dole. I don't know
Yeah,
about
not
Bob Dole. He's
Bill
a little
Doyle.
before my
Bill
time.
Doyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Doyle. Yeah.
No, you're right.
There's Michael.
There's Michael. I mean, it's
Where's Deering, right? The Deering poll I heard from David Delcor once.
you're everywhere, dude.
I try.
You're in every parade. You're in the Christmas tree lighting, the Santa Claus, the Thanksgiving stuff, the fun drives, the coin drops, the food drives, decorating the city with garland and lights, and you're out in the rain all the time. You're front and center, and this guy. I think he missed all of the sunshine that we were blowing up into his ass about, I think it was last winter when he went up to the auditorium and he's like, no. We're opening in this gym. We got to get the kids in here. They need to run around and have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. We
crucial.
talked about you so much on the air. We're like, dude, Deering is kicking ass by not only coming up with the ideas, one thing. That's a great idea. But executing it logistically, making sure that talking with Stephanie, and it's not just you, you got other people that are on the same page, making it happen.
Just networking.
Yeah.
Being a vessel in the community
Well,
provides the opportunities that
but
may
you gotta
not be
a-
there.
You got to be a little bit of a pain in the ass too. And say, I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Well, and there are other vessels, but it depends on how you go about things too, and the fact that the people in other communities and other employees of the city can talk to you, and they have a good relationship with you. They know that they're not going to be met with, just
The resistance.
the
that
resistance.
some might,
and I can't even begin to imagine you being rude or inappropriate or
No, leave that up to me.
to somebody else. So the relationships that you have formed come from all of the work that you've done, and you've definitely proven that you're very worthy of that seat. And yeah,
Michael, I have said to you,
I'm happy you're there.
I am too. I've said
Me
to
too.
you several times over, I don't know, over I guess the years now, just that when it comes to voter turnout, that I think what I see, what I hear, what I feel from our community, and Raylene and I have talked about this, is that there's still this this cloud that's kind of hanging over us of like, why bother voting, man? It's like, what difference is that going to make? You know, nobody in city government is listening to me. No one gives a shit. You're so different from that. You love to. He genuinely loves to hear what people have to say, agree or disagree, and to bring it and put it on the table and just let's chew on it for a little while.
Yep.
Let's not just look away or blow somebody off. But there's concern, man. It's like, voter turnout is everybody. Everything is so contentious right now, and it's like, man, please come up to the Barry Auditorium and vote.
Let's even go before that. So absentee ballots come out the second week of February. I think that's like the deadline that they need to go out. So to me, you have to get out. You have to know who you're voting for. But you have to also take advantage of the opportunities that our government's given you. I mean, we have absentee ballots where all you have to do is call City Hall and Carol will mail you a ballot. You can go online to, I think it's MVP, My Voter page, Vermont.gov. You can go there and you can request a ballot. If you're not registered to vote, let's get you registered to vote. That's a huge thing. In a general election lately, city council, it's not very good turnout. Less than 50% at best.
Which is so sad.
Yeah, and I even think, and I hate to quote the numbers because I'm not well versed in this right now, as I was 2 years ago, we'll say. I think we're about 30% voter turnout. So 1 out of every 3 people who are registered to vote comes out.
You know what I love about you? You're not afraid of a camera, a cell phone. You go live all the time, which is so cool. Not just in the sports sector, but also in the you're up at the auditorium. You go live, and you genuinely say to people on a live stream or off, I could give a rat's ass who you vote for, but just please vote.
Yes.
And you really embody that, man. It's like you really mean that.
I really do.
I know
I
you
want
do.
you to come out and cast your ballot. What good is representative democracy when no one's coming out to vote?
Because you can complain on Facebook afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. It is so easy. And we go through Facebook, we scroll through these groups, and we just see complaint after complaint after complaint. And I'll be honest, I've kind of stopped going on Facebook and reading a lot of this stuff. Because if you can't put your complaint or your concern down on words and actually give it to somebody that wants to do something with it,
Right.
what are you doing? Like, let's actually engage in the way that we can get things done.
But what do you say to people that say, well, I don't know if it's really going to make it. It's probably not going to really make a difference if I go and vote. Some of these races have been awfully snug.
I won this city council seat by 5 votes over Erica Rail. And I campaigned my ass off. I had a lot of people helping me out as well. Granted, there are a lot of things that I will do differently with this campaign than I did in 2 years ago. I'm not a politician, first and foremost. I am somebody who...
You're a dad.
I'm a dad.
And a husband.
I'm a dad. I'm
and
a husband,
an employee,
a football coach.
and a coach. And,
A community liaison, really.
Yeah.
Somebody that you can talk to and relay what's going on in your life. And I can see how we can work together. Whether we agree or disagree, there have been people who've called about vacant building ordinance complaints. People who have gotten a letter from code enforcement saying, look, you need to have all the screens on your window on this vacant building on your porch.
or the lawn mowed or this, that, or the other. Yeah.
And sometimes I have to give people the bad news and say, look, this is what the city charter says or the vacant building ordinance says. And how can we get a plan in place for you to get what you need and the city not to harass you? I mean, let's work together.
They're not, and really they're not harassing.
No.
They're just
They're doing their job.
They're doing their
They're doing
job.
the job of the people.
It's a dance.
It is.
Well, we have a couple of comments, and I agree with both of these, so I'm going to say them both. And so, Glenn Brummer
Yep.
says Michael Deering for mayor.
Oh, no way.
Which maybe, well, not this
Not-
time.
no.
Not this
Not
time.
this time.
But maybe next time. And then followed on that, I agree with Mr. Koch, Donald Koch, who says that better to have you as a counselor because we need a new mayor, but we can't afford to lose a seat in the council.
He's not wrong.
And he is not wrong. We need you there. Just get out and vote. I don't
please.
know how much more I could say either. It's a drum that I beat all too often.
Yeah.
And just do it. And I'm looking forward to having you longer. And so
I love the fact that
I really hope that that happens.
you can be such a regular Joe, funny. You can laugh and goof around with the rest of us, but also be extremely serious, and you can go from one to the other in 0.2 seconds. I love that in you. Your face value. You are what you are. Who you are.
Yeah, I'm not fake. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass.
No.
And one of the things that I campaigned really hard on in 2022, was asking the tough questions, asking the questions that people don't want to ask because they're just afraid to. And I'm not afraid to ask questions, and even questions that some of my fellow will say, those who are in allegiance will say, would kind of say, wow, did you really ask that? Yeah, I did. And I'm not afraid of that because I think it's important to be genuine. It's important to reflect who you are and not be fake.
And bring the word of the people that elected you to do so.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because what I've come to find is, like you said, JD, people say, why do I want to complain? Why do I want to write a letter or write an email?
No one's listening anyway.
Because no one's listening anyway.
Right.
Well, that's not the case. I have a notebook that when somebody emails me, usually I try to set an appointment with them, whether I go meet them for coffee to figure out what's going on. I met with some individuals over on Railroad Street when they were having some issues with the flood, with one of the drainage culverts behind their house. Whatever they need, I'll be there. And I'll write it down, I'll talk about it, and then I'll kind of address it in the ways that needs to be addressed. So it's not falling on deaf ears.
Can I guess, ask a question or give a comment? I feel that more people should be tuned in to the Zoom link at what's happening on Tuesday nights for council meeting. I know that Tony Campos runs it on Central Vermont Television. Usually it's a couple of days or the next day, I think. But to that live Zoom link for the live Tuesday night city council meetings needs to be better promoted. More people need to be tuned in and listening to what's happening instead of reading about the next day in the Times Argus the sparks that were flying or whatever. Be present. Be if you can't be there in person, you want to sit on the couch in your jammies at home with a hot cup of tea or whatever. That's fine, but be more engaged, be more present. At least be on the Zoom link to listen to what's going on.
Agreed, Linda. Linda says the sound sucks on
Yeah, and I
Zoom.
know we've been really working hard on that. It's been
Yeah.
an issue for a while. There's been a change in the technical person at City Hall, but also there's been some kind of finagling
There
with the
needs to be
equipment.
a training for everyone of how to
use a
use
microphone.
a mic. You have some people that are directly on it like this,
Yep.
and then you have some people that are sitting way back trying to talk, and you can't, and
Right.
you can't hear. And
Yep.
and then the same when somebody from the public gets up to speak, they can't shout from their seat. They
No, they
have
need to get up to the table and go to the
use
microphone.
Last week, It was terrible. There was one woman who sat in the back and had conversations back and forth, and we couldn't hear anything that she was saying.
Yeah.
You could tell there was a female speaking in the background, but that's it.
Sure.
You could hear the replies, the answers, and that's it.
If we could only get the system that Barrytown has. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
They have a beautiful system. More money though. We're not spending money.
I feel
Right, right now you're spending money on recovery efforts,
Yeah.
which is absolutely more important.
So what,
I'll
what
be
I will
honest with
do,
you.
so I will address it with Tony Campos.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Tony today.
Yeah.
And see how we can rectify that.
There have been some Tuesday nights, and Raylene, you know this because I've texted you.
you get so pissed you sign out.
Right. And that makes sense. So here's a thought we could use.
I'm out. I can't deal with it.
So what you could do is put closed captioning on, turn your sound off, and then at the very least, you can kind of read what some people are saying. It's not ideal, and I'm not saying that that's perfect, but sometimes you have to work with what you have. And I know, to me, if I really want to be involved in something, I'll turn the closed captioning on, so that way I can understand what's being said. But let's figure this out. Let's get with Tony and get this figured out because it's important.
You know what I would love?
Lots
Raylene,
of things.
Raylene, just jump in, cut me off anytime. What I would love is for City Council to have a feature during their Tuesday night meeting, even for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, where someone in the council or maybe several would just take a few minutes and give a little bit of kudos to a couple of different businesses right in Barry City, and just throw the spotlight on them for just a couple of minutes. For example, to say during city council meeting, hey, look at what's going on over at Earthly Wonders. Isn't that a cool place? Have y'all been in there?
Right.
Go in there. If you haven't been in there, walk through the doors and check it out. Hey, look what's going on over at Lenny's Shoe and Apparel with hunting season and Hey, look what's going on over at Delicate Decadence. They're serving breakfast now, cooked to order.
Yep.
I mean, how many times have we seen complaints from people on social media? I wish Barry had a breakfast place again. The Wayside is the only place to go to. We do have that now.
Right.
7
Downtown,
freaking
beautiful
days a week,
Blanchard
dude.
block.
6.
Six.
I'm sorry. 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. You walk in there, you can get a full breakfast cooked to order. You know, these are good things that are happening to Barry. They may seem insignificant, and they're not political in nature, but they shine a great light on what's happening, kind of behind the scenes. Dan Moland,
Yep.
Enough Ministries. I want to thank you for giving us some kudos during City Council meeting the other night. I appreciate that very much.
You know, the Hope Coalition's doing a great job, and nobody knows about it.
That's why we
That bothers me.
That bothers me too. That's why we had Dan Moland in here. We talked about it for an hour straight, and the conversation never lagged. There was always information about what he had, what he was doing in this sector and that sector, and in all of these different ways that this is a long-term recovery effort that is done grassroots right here in our backyard. I mean, literally,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
150 yards from city council chambers is where this stuff, where the brainchilds of this is
the
happening.
center.
And man, it's like every single council member should not only be aware of it, but they should be up on Vine Street having a look with their own eyes and seeing what's being done for the city of Barry. It's huge.
It is.
It's actually more than huge. It's massive what he's doing. Have you had a chance to get up to Vine Street?
I haven't had a chance to get up there yet.
I'll go with you. I would love to go up there with you.
And I know that they're doing some great stuff. I did listen to your show, and I appreciate you in bringing the light to things and to people, and then saying, "Hey, Deering, get your ass over here and watch this show."
Right.
and I have some issues with trying to get onto Facebook and watch
Right.
the videos because my phone kind of keeps kicking them off.
I threatened you.
You did.
I did.
You put a knife. No, I'm kidding. You didn't threaten me.
I think I threatened to either break your legs or let all the air out of your tires. If you
Oh
didn't-
wait, I think you did threaten to let all the air out of my tires.
if you didn't watch that Mullen show,
and I did.
and I'm glad
As I'm
you did.
driving around, because I can watch it on YouTube, which doesn't interfere
Right.
and doesn't stop playing.
I understand.
Love it.
I understand.
So now I'm extra linked in.
That's awesome.
But the city council, back to what I'm saying.
Yep.
Should throw some love every Tuesday night. We should say, "Hey, man, did you see what's going on over at Beauvair's?"
So I think to answer your question, to have a spot on council that calls out businesses or does certain things, what you're going to have is you're going to have certain people calling out certain businesses that they only support. And then you're going to have other businesses not being called out. So the perfect time for that would be roundtable. Similar to how I promoted the Hope Coalition last week. Counselors and even sometimes the mayor will give others that are still there in chambers or online an opportunity to speak at roundtable. And it's just the opportunity for you to give your thoughts and feelings on what's going on. So I think that what you're saying is a great opportunity, but it has to be done from within your heart and it has to be done at roundtable because things are too political now. That one, you don't mention a business. Say, for example, you mention one business and not another that is similar in product. And then it's, well, why do you support this business and not that business?
I say grow the fuck up and get off the playground and start promoting good for who it is and what it is and whether or not you're
For
affiliated
everyone.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Right.
agree.
For everyone.
That you promote what's going on, what's good in Barrie.
Nelson's Hardware celebrating 40 years,
40 years,
on Main
dude.
Street
That's crazy.
this month.
Yeah.
40 years.
And it's some of these businesses, the fact that they have recuperated or are still in the process of recuperating from the floods, and they're, God damn it, they're rooted in the city. They're not going anywhere. They're going to fight. They're going to stay where they are. Deserves some more love and attention from city council, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So my way to do that is to go to these businesses, take pictures of their businesses, promote their businesses online, promote their businesses through word of mouth. Too often you have one negative experience and you're very quick to chastise the business and to blah, 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 blah about it. So let's be kind. Today's day of kindness. So be kind. Go to a business, promote a business, say thank you to somebody, appreciate them.
I'll promote one.
Please.
I can promote the Den. I took my dad there Saturday night.
did?
For Veterans Day, for a beer. We went over for a beer, gave our donation for the Veterans Place in Northfield, and had something to eat, had a couple beers, and just chilled out, relaxed. It was nice. There were some people playing pool and the band. It was awesome. So
Did he dance at all? Was he moving around?
no,
Okay.
we went over for beer and dinner.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Veterans Day. That's what we
awesome.
did. It was awesome, and lots of great things coming up over there
Did
at
you
the
see
Den.
did you see the new sign that Yipes made for the Den?
I did. I did. I
It's
took
another
a
good
picture of
business.
it, and I
Yeah.
got it. It is a good business. Yipes, love them.
Me too.
They have some crazy new stuff out right now.
I love
I
the
can't-
puffy print.
the puffy
The
print.
puffy print, a few
the
other
hats.
things that they're coming out with, amazing for Christmas gifts. And then, of course, they're doing all of their winter stuff right now: remote starts, heated seats, wiper blades, the floor mats.
Yeah.
You name it. You can do all of that over there at Yipes as well. And then we have to say, Giroux General Transport.
There's another
Right
one.
now, amazing business.
There's another one.
That is literally keeping
Shit
state
moving.
Yep.
and the world moving.
And giving people great jobs and opportunities to make a hell of a lot more money than what they're making.
Their next class is January 15th, but tonight is the hazmat theory training, and that starts at 4. So if you haven't signed up and you want to take that, you should call Tracy right away.
Right away.
So that you can get into that as well. But sign up for the class January 15th. We're going to have snow for a long time. There's all these drivers are going to be needed, and they're needed with or without the snow and the fuel deliveries and all of that. So call Tracy up 279-3325.
And by the time spring gets here, you're going to have the windows down in your own rig, and you're going to be driving around, and you're going to have freedom and flexibility and better pay and better hours and just, I don't know. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you're going to be playing 6 days on the road, full blast. You're just be
course.
driving, the wind blowing through your hair.
Eastbound
all that,
and down.
Yeah, all that great stuff, you know. So check it out. Give her a call, 279-3325. Giroux General Transport. And then last but not least, I have to say, Delicate Decadence. This week's Wednesday take-home meal is chicken vegetable stir fry. It looks amazing over white rice. So if you want to order that up, 802-479-7948. Check out the link on the page or go to Delicate Decadence Facebook page and order from there.
And get your ass over there for breakfast in the morning. It's 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, from what time in the morning? 7:30? 7:30.
Is it? I think they might be 8.
7
Is it
to
7?
10,
7 to 10.
Oh,
There it is.
Monday through Saturday,
There we
7
go.
to 10.
I should know that. My daughter works there.
It's such a great place. I love the coffee. I love to. You can sit. Did you see us the other morning? We were sitting there. What do we have?
Yeah,
1,000?
live.
Over 1,000?
Yes, over 1,000 views for your breakfast, your
just sitting
your
there.
birthday breakfast live.
Perfect.
I love going there. Have
We
a cup
saw
of
so many
coffee,
people.
sit in the window, just look at City Hall Park. I do a lot of meetings there with
Hey,
people.
the window is perfect.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it is Barry. Literally, that window is
It
Barry.
is.
Everything
Right there.
If you Google Barry, the what you get, the image is the park.
Yep.
Right.
That is
City
right
Hall
there.
Park is beautiful. You've triumphant. Just the story behind that and everything.
Yeah, it's
there.
amazing.
It's incredible. What about coffee with a counselor?
We could do coffee with the counselor.
he's
haven't thought that far yet.
He's gonna start
I plan on
kicking
doing a
me.
lot of door knocking on people's door again. You know, seeing how things are. You know, I'm going to ask 2 questions. The first, I'm going to ask you, hey, you know, what do you think's going right in the city, or what do you think is not going so well and that we could improve on?
Oh gosh, love, you are brave.
Yeah, you are.
Well,
that's
I
gonna
don't
be
jump
a
into
loaded
politics
bag right there.
Well, I mean, that gives people the opportunity to either, you know, say something that's positive that they like's going on, or it gives you an opportunity to fix something that's going on for them, or at least address it.
I have to go, so I'm
All right.
leaving you boys.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I have to go to the dentist.
Have fun at the dentist.
I'll be there
I
next
just
week.
love having Deering on. It's
I know.
just-
Well, you can keep going, but I'm leaving you.
You know, I mean, I want to ask him about his hair and everything. There's so many questions I have, but I'll postpone that.
That's what I told my ex-husband too. You can keep going, but I'm leaving you.
Oh!
Yeah.
No comment.
And I did.
I love you.
Will there be any?
Coffee with a counselor?
Yeah,
Sure.
good.
I think it's important to post up in a spot and say, I'm going to be here. If you want to come and talk, come talk. What I've found, sadly, is that people don't utilize those opportunities. So I'll go, I'll sit, and no one comes, which is fine. I'll just do some work that I can do on my iPad and kind of get it done. But I want to give people the opportunity. And I think maybe the reason that people don't come is because that if someone has a question, they can call me. I'll answer it. I don't usually set up the coffee with a counselor just because if someone wants to talk and meet, I'm always available. But to give that open opportunity can be important
what if you pick a day and time?
Yep.
We will promote the crap out of it. And I'll say this for any counselor that is willing to sit and have a cup of coffee with anyone from our community. We will promote the shit out of it right here.
Well,
Okay.
let me promote right now. So if you have a concern or a care or a compliment, shoot me an email, m.deering@berrycity.org. You can shoot me a text if you want at 802-461-3231.
You're giving out your personal cell phone number?
Dude, it's on my business cards. It's on the city website. Call me if you want to talk, if you want to set up a meeting, if you have something that you want to know. If there's something, a burning desire that you have, ask. The worst I can say is, I don't know, let me figure it out.
At the Opera House, twice now, we've had, and I'm not sure what they're calling it, but an opportunity for the community to come out, sit, listen to folks that are talking about some of the longer-term recovery efforts from the flood in the Granite City.
Yep, the Flood Recovery Forums.
Thank you.
For VDRC.
Thank you. I want to ask you, what's your takeaway from those? You've been there. What do you think? How do you feel about them? Was there progress made bridging the gap of communication between what's going on and informing the public of what's going on?
So I think the biggest issue that I saw with it is somebody made a comment, and I 100% agree, that when we looked around the room in the infrastructure session that I was at, the focus group, the question was asked, well, how many people are here really that were affected by the flood? Nobody. Most of the people that have been affected by the flood weren't there. They weren't able to go and speak their piece for whatever reason. We did have probably some individuals that were affected by the flood. The first time I know Scott over at Norway and Son, Scott Norway, he talked. So there were some individuals in the first round of the forum that really were affected by the flood. The second time around seemed to be more people that are currently engaged in the community that maybe have a piece one way or another and are able to kind of help collaborate with some stuff. So in all of the sessions, there were notes taken by VDRC, Vermont.
Rural development.
Yes, rural development. So Vermont Department of Rural Development. And they're still doing a lot of outreach now, trying to communicate what's going on and what has gone on and kind of summarize things and give that to the city. And it's an ongoing process.
There was some discussion during one of these, and I think it was the last one at the Opera House, of folks that were there addressing some more concern about housing, which was
It's huge.
at a crisis level before the damn flood. But even more concern, if there even could be such a thing, about housing. There were also folks that were there that were very concerned about drug activity and crime in the Granite City, which there is everywhere. It's every community everywhere. It's not Barrie is no worse than any other community, including Montpelier. But the moderators, the folks that were there, had to kind of grab the wheel and turn it back onto the reason why we were there, which was flood recovery effort and communication about that.
Yep, I do remember a couple of those.
But but there's people that are really concerned about the police are overworked. There's not enough of them. The drug activity in Barrie we're reading about and seeing about all the time. I know, you see it, you hear it just as much as we do. There's one bust after another. these are some rough times that we're in right now. Outside of this, could there be some kind of, when I say outside of this, I mean outside of the
forum.
The forum.
Okay.
Could there be a similar forum that is just on that, where we can get our chief to stand up on that stage at the Opera House and sit in front of a large number of people and talk about those issues in itself?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think we're coming to a crisis point where we've consistently done nothing different to improve the problem. And to me, that's the definition of insanity. When you continue to do the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's just insanity.
Yeah.
So council has talked about, I know that we have a huge issue, and I hate to bring this to light, at the Barry Manor. There's been a significant amount of complaints from residents that live in the building, fearing for their safety, and also residents outside of that building that are concerned about the well-being of those individuals and the well-being of our community. So I know that there's a lot of talks going on right now with city government and Barry Housing and some other entities in order to, I don't want to say fix it, but try to get a handle on things and see how we all can work together to make things better for the lives of our residents. We need to go one step above that, like you were talking, and I think it's important at this stage of the game to have some kind of forum about what's going on in the community regarding crime. How are we combating crime? What can we do to help the police combat crime?
Sure.
Those types of things, because I feel that residents are frustrated. They don't know what to do. They call the police come, they'll go and, bust somebody, do an investigation, they'll bust somebody. But then we get back to, where is it helping? Where is it hurting? And what can we do differently to make things better? And to me, I think a lot of it starts with the judicial system, that our police departments are doing as much as they possibly can while they're being overworked and understaffed. We do have a full staff on the Barrie City Police Department, and I also feel like we have an amazing staff with BCPD. Chief Vale has been very good. He's been very communicative. He's also upgraded a lot of the policies and procedures within the police department in his tenure already. Probably upgraded or added 30 plus policies over the last 18 months that I've been on council. So it's not that Chief Vale is not trying to better things.
Sure. Of course.
But there's just a lot of chaos going on, and we're trying to do the same thing over and over and over with no results.
Yeah.
On a positive note, we did just approve on council last week body cams.
Yeah. Raylene and I were talking about that.
Yep. Woo, woo, you got it.
Yeah.
That's key. Keeps everybody safe. Keeps the police safe.
Absolutely.
Keeps residents safe. It just holds everyone accountable. To your question on housing.
Yes.
Because I know you asked two questions.
Yeah.
So the second question about housing. Housing is a huge issue. We had a planning commission meeting last week, and which I sat in on. I was invited to go to by Janet Shatney. And we talked about some things that we could potentially do to increase housing here in the city. One of them was the density restrictions, so that you can only have, I think it's 4 bedrooms in a certain area, a certain square footage. And if we increase the density requirements, or let me rephrase that, if we loosened the density requirements, we know of some people who have already put permits or have tried to apply for permits to add additional bedrooms to these units that already exist. So that's some really low-hanging fruit that the city could help out with in changing the planning of that, the zoning, so that individuals could have more densely packed units. So instead of the 4-bedroom, you'd have a 6-bedroom. So you'd be able to increase that occupancy by 2 more bedrooms without having to change the outside structure. So it's really about loosening some of those restrictions in the places that need to be but also not to kind of give a free for all and say, you know what, just do whatever you want, create housing, because we don't want that. We want to do it in a positive way that's going to not negatively impact our community or even the neighbors around them. I mean, nobody wants to deal with extra things that need to be done if you don't have to do them.
Well said, and I look forward to hearing more about this very, very much. If you and I were to sit down right now and have a cup of coffee, which I don't think I've ever done with you, and maybe we should do that and throw some cameras on. Whew. I would say to you, off the record, and I'll do it right now on the record, and you can throw something at me if you want to, but I would say to you, just as I would right now, I would be like, Michael, dude, what is up with the J.J. Newberry building? Is council talking about this? Are they even aware of it? And what is the long-term plan here on this Jeff Jacobs dude? And holy shit, bro, fix that. Tear that shit down. Put a parking lot in there, roller skating rink, something. My God. And then I would say to you, same story with the Green Mountain Diner, and holy shit, just, my God, the plywood up there. I mean,
I think we're talking about two different projects.
I know we are.
So the Green Mountain Diner, it looks like it's been worked on. There's a permit pulled for it.
What? Okay.
I did hear through the grapevine.
You don't have to answer any of this right now. I'm just saying, if you and I were having a cup of coffee right now, which technically we are.
We are, yeah.
I would be saying these things to you, and now I'm saying them to you on camera. You don't have to answer any of this right now. I'm just saying.
I don't ever have to answer anything. I can just tell you to pound sand.
And you have.
I have.
You have.
But I choose not to for the most part.
And I would say to you, Michael,
what is going on?
What is going to happen with Mr. Z's? Everybody wants to know. Everybody is asking me. Hey, JD, do you know what's going to go on with Mr. Z's? You got the aired out
hopefully
podcast.
Nothing.
You got the aired out podcast. You want to know?
Hopefully nothing. Let's be honest. The building itself is flood prone. There's a reason that Mike didn't build back. I mean, let's be honest. When you create a waterway for the river to flow, the river is naturally going to go where it wants to go. That's some of the conversations that we've been having over the last couple of months in council and then in some different planning meetings. But the building itself in that area is prone to flooding. We get a big rainstorm, and without a flood of the river, the whole downtown there gets flooded.
The May before Irene itself, July 10th. I mean, that whole...
I think that building is a perfect example of what a buyout is supposed to be intended for. I mean, that's not a place where you go and you put a new business. I mean, you could go and raise it up, make it flood resilient, but quite frankly, something more of a Dente Park is in line. Something of a green space. I know that there's not a lot of space there to utilize, but something to beautify the city. You drive down the Beltline, you see Dente Park on the left. Mr. Z's is a great building. It's a great business. I have nothing but amazing things to say about Mike and the group that he had there. But let's be honest, it's not a great opportunity for a business because you're going to be flooded out. It might be 15 years from now. It might be next year.
Yeah.
We don't know. But to put a business there that you're going to put your entire soul into, and then, it got flooded out in a year or 5 years. And then your entire soul feels like it's ripped out of you.
Right. And I've got a text here. Ask him about just up the road, North End Deli. You know, these are
on Maple Street.
Yeah. These have been staples in our community.
So is there somebody that wants to rebuild the North End Deli? I mean, those are questions that people have to ask.
Sure.
That we have all of these vacant opportunities, but who wants to take the opportunities? I know that we have an amazing group in Barrie Area Development Corporation. I've got a meeting with them, their board meeting at noon today at the library.
Amen.
I'm their council liaison. The stuff that group is doing, the businesses they're bringing in, the opportunities that they're trying to haul in for Barrie is amazing. The stuff that Amay Green is doing, coordinating, just constantly never stopping and trying to bring businesses to Barrie. One of their mottos is bring your business to Barrie, because that's what they want to do. They want to bring these individuals, these businesses to come. And pretty sure that we've got some Little Caesars under contract.
I've heard so many rumors.
I can't confirm officially, but I'm pretty sure unofficially that Little Caesars is committed to coming to Barrie.
Yeah.
I know that there were some talks about opening up in the North End.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they have secured a location here in town. I can't disclose that because I think it's still privileged information, but I'm pretty positive that Little Caesars is under contract to come to Barrie.
Okay.
I know people are going to say, oh, another pizza place. Well, you know what? It's another business coming into our community. It brings revenue. It increases our economy. It gives people the opportunity to work and make a living. Just those types of things.
Here's another thing I would say to you. If we were having a cup of coffee, which we are, right now, I would say, Michael, what you just said, it brings another business into our community. I'd be like, dude, as long as it's not another fucking
Dollar
bank.
General or a bank. Well,
Banks.
Key Bank is closing.
There's too many banks, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm upset right now. There's
Well,
too many banks.
Think about it. If there are banks in your community, it means that people are investing money. And that's something that I learned in economics.
No more banks.
Banks mean money. If there's a bank in your community, it means that they're making money and that they can thrive there.
Yeah.
So they also invest in their communities as well.
Sure.
And I say that from a nonprofit aspect, that a lot of these banks hold money aside for nonprofits.
Right.
Like when I did work with Head Start, you ask a bank for some money for a donation, and they're very quick to write it off to you.
You beautifully grabbed the wheel and put us back on track right there. Here's me screaming about banks, and look what you just did. I mean, that's magnificent.
You try to steer the conversation. So the Newberry building, man, what a mess. And there's lots of conversation about that.
Yes.
I can't speak to the particular conversation that council had because it's privileged. But
the community wants to know.
I want to know. I want to go in there and see what's going on. I mean, we just had a flood. I heard that there are lots of potential code enforcement issues. I don't know. And I know that everybody wants to see it gone. Now, in my opinion, what I would like to see happen with it is the building go away, and then you create mixed use building. You have commercial stuff on the bottom, and then you have 3 or 4 floors of apartments. I mean,
yeah, but there's a freaking river running underneath that.
Maybe.
building.
I've heard that, but who knows? I don't know. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen pictures?
I have seen pictures
of the river underneath.
I've seen pictures of the basement, but I didn't see a river. But I have seen pictures of what's underneath there.
It's a serious conversation that needs to be had again and again.
Is.
I know that they want $1.4 million for the building. And from my understanding, they essentially get a tax credit because it remains vacant or empty. And I was also under the impression that they have the opportunity to do that financially. I'm kind of jealous.
Did you just say 1.4?
$1.4 million. Wow.
Be a nice little parking lot.
I mean, I think it'd be a nice mixed-use building. You had a business on the bottom. You had, 20 apartments on top between 3 or 4 floors.
And whitewater rafting in the basement, all at the
Sure.
same time.
You could build a little amusement park in the basement, kind of
Sure.
like that Nerf gun place we were talking about.
Absolutely. Oh, my God.
I'm going joking again, I know.
Listen, if you decide you're going to go over to Delicate Decadence and sit down and sip on some coffee and you want to have a conversation with some of the many listeners that are tuned in right now, so many,
We could just do a live question and answer session.
I'll go live, man. I mean, I'll whatever you need me to do.
They ask,
I'm in.
I'll answer.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
It's and I wish more counselors would do that. You know, I mean, Booten does a pretty good job too.
No, Booten does a good job on his show.
He did the
I
Barry
enjoy the Barry Beat.
the Barry Beat podcast, and I got to say, before we close out this morning, I've thanked you before. I've thanked you privately. I've thanked you face to face, and I've thanked you on text. And I'm going to thank you again right now for introducing me to Lori Shepard, because she is just absolutely kicks ass. That lady is so freaking awesome.
Well, that's what we talk about with networking. So I met
love
Lori
her.
through Carl Parton, who I work with doing CVT Sport.
Right.
Filming and producing. And even this year I did some color commentary with Lori by my side, play-by-play.
I'm
Wow.
jealous. I'm jealous.
She is a rock star.
Yes, she is.
And she does a lot of basketball for Carl. And
Yes.
last year you asked me, man, I'd really like to start a sports podcast. And that was when I said, yeah, pretty much go pound sand, JD.
Yes.
I don't have the time for it. But I know somebody that is very interested in doing a podcast. And through that relationship and the networking, I am so happy to see her doing her podcast. Lori, if you're listening right now, and you'll probably listen later, I'm sorry I don't catch your podcast more often live. I definitely check it out.
She and CB and Wheels, I mean, they know their shit.
Yes, they do. Oh, my goodness.
God. I mean, all their football stuff, I mean, just, and local sports, basketball, I mean, that is the podcast to be listening to. Mondays and Wednesdays right here on this network, right here on Aired Out. It's called the Four Quarters Podcast, and they are just so good. I love them. And I've learned so much about, you know, I still don't necessarily know what first down and 10 means, but I'm in the process of learning it.
So if I were to ask you what the line to gain is, yeah. Pass interference, encroachment.
No.
All right. First down.
Interception.
Come on, little Paul Plant first down. First down. All right. We're going to get you out to Spalding next year for football.
I know what
Me
it is.
and Shep will get your butt out into the stands.
I know what a touchdown is.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And I know what an end zone is.
Okay.
I know what an interception is.
Okay. Well, turnovers equal points. So,
You're getting,
Interception.
You're getting into the weeds here, pal. you're confusing me. Stop it. Thank you for coming in here, brother.
thanks for having me.
Love having you.
Appreciate you allowing me to make my big announcement on
Yeah,
your
man.
microphones today.
Yeah. And listen, no Barry Beat podcast tonight, but just keep an eye on the page. Raylene's posting stuff up all the time. We're going to let you know what's going on. Michael Deering in the house with us on Aired Out. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.